Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 7th, 2021. Have a backbone, buying over crying, strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, offended by selling. I'm in motion. You should be in motion. I'm in Nashville. It says, wait, can you see it there? It says it Nashville. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, here at this Airbnb. I'll be here for the next 5 weeks. I'm doing this show live on TikTok. All you TikTokers, ask me questions, dudes. Ask me questions. I will answer them live here on TikTok. You YouTubers, the links that I mentioned will be linked to below. If you want to watch this live, you guys got to go to the CoinBeast. I'm doing this for CoinBeast Media. You can go to coinbeast.com. Link to below is the CoinBeast account on TikTok, which you should be following on TikTok. And again, coinbeast.com/connect. You can talk to me there. All right. But you can also talk to me on these TikToks. So you're going to learn, you TikTokers, you're about to learn beyond Bitcoin type of information. I want to give you guys a little bit of beyond Bitcoin information because I landed in Nashville yesterday. I haven't eaten for over 48 hours. I'm going for 72 hours, dudes. I do at least two 72-hour fast a year, which I recommend everyone do. Apparently it can be good in theory for preventing diseases, maybe even the big C. Nobody wants to get the big C. Pound that like button for unique beast health. But I just ran 4.4 miles, fasted 48 hours. I can do that. I'm in good shape. Took a cold freaking shower when I got back here. I only take cold showers, dudes. It gets you, it keeps you alive. It really it gives you some energy. You're on freaking fire when you're doing that, okay? So let's start with the Bitcoin news. So that was my Beyond Bitcoin. Here, I'm my lovely Airbnb. You want to see everything here. A lot of you didn't like the Airbnb in Miami for some reason, but this one I think in Nashville you'll like more. Get used to it, baby. All right. So I check CNN because I want to I don't just check news sources that I agree with, okay? I try to learn the other side. And yeah, that's the other side, all right. But in the normie world, one of their cryptocurrency article of the day was Tom Brady is launching an NFT company. Oh my. Yeah, so that gets a lot of the normies, that's their intro into cryptocurrency. You dudes watching this on TikTok, maybe that's why some of you guys got into it. NFTs, fancy signs and graphics, like fancy people, like Tom Brady. Stick with the Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. I've been talking about this since 2013, dudes. It's treated me quite well. And as predicted, yeah, more and more celebrities are going to get into it and tempt the normies away from Bitcoin. Do not gamble your precious Bitcoin on Tom Brady NFTs. But I also predicted Grayscale would want to turn their GBTC into an ETF, and they're talking about that. That's no shock. Why you traditional investors don't want to own the underlying asset of Bitcoin? You want to financialize every freaking thing. Yeah, you'll be happy when you get your ETFs. It will make me richer because I'm a Bitcoin holder, but you won't be holding Bitcoin. All you newbies out there, don't try to complicate matters. Get the real thing. You don't need a Bitcoin ETF to be in the Bitcoin. It doesn't protect you from anything. Yeah, and I'm sure some of you altcoiners are happy because altcoins have been pumping, and the total cryptocurrency market cap got to $2 trillion as predicted. Yeah, dudes, it'll be at $10 trillion one day, all right? Yeah, that's why you should own Bitcoin now, all right? Yeah, I didn't wait for it to get to $2 trillion. I got into God, who knows what Bitcoin's Bitcoin was worth way below 100 billion when I got into it. All right. So David's in the house. Hello, David. Come on. TikTokers, wake up. Ask me some questions. You've asked questions before. They've been fun. And by the way, people, check out the links below. My buddy in Australia interviewed me. And you guys like these question and answers with people. I just want to have shows where people ask me questions and answers. I'd rather do that. Or if you want to interview me, we can set up an interview. And I'll make it a show of mine. This content stuff, it's hard to get all the content for you dudes. I love answering questions, and people like me answering questions. The Coinbase. Now, there's Coinbase.com. That's not what it says on the shirt. It says Bitcoin. You like this teal thing? I should have worn this in Miami for the freaking Dolphins and Marlins. But I'm down with the Orioles. When I was running, I'm from Baltimore. I was running on the streets in Nashville. Great to see all the hotties from Vanderbilt out there. Woo! At the bars, the bars were open air. You could see people. Oh, it was beautiful. People out on the streets of Nashville. I ran by Belmont University. Only had heard about that because of the basketball tournaments throughout the years. All right, distracted there. Sorry. That's your Beyond Bitcoin a little bit there. But yeah, Coinbase earned more in the first quarter than all of 2020. A week from today, guys, is the Coinbase IPO. CNN will write about that also. And that, hey, more power to them writing about that. It will be a good day in 7 days, in a week. Yeah, so it earned more in the first quarter than all of 2020. That was their earnings report. It's growing. Speaking of normality out on the streets, when I was at BWI Airport and Nashville Airport yesterday, it was basically back to normal. So if you're hiding in your house and you think the world is different, that you can't. Most people are out, dudes. The airports are crowded now. There's really nothing to worry about. I've been flying on planes for since I got out of LA in late May. Okay, so a year I've been flying on planes. There's you haven't been in motion. Too bad, you dudes. In motion has been very beneficial to me and the people who are in motion. Our wealth has done quite well by being in the Bitcoin overlay. Now, speaking of California, the Sacramento Kings are willing, they're a basketball team, are willing to pay all of their employees in Bitcoin. They're not in Silicon Valley. Obviously, they're not in the San Francisco area. They're the major metropolitan area that's closest to Silicon Valley, other than San Francisco, the whole giant Bay Area. And Oakland A's are selling their skyboxes for Bitcoin. So California can be kind of progressive that way. Just pointing that out. I praise those organizations, but they're not going to sell their Bitcoin. They're going to hold on to their Bitcoin, and it's going to be great for the people who unwisely, first of all, the Oakland A's are going to sell their Bitcoin. Sacramento Kings, the people they pay in Bitcoin, I hope don't sell their Bitcoin. Those dudes will do very well. If any of the players opt into that, wow, that's great. That's better than in the NFL. The one dude who said he was paid in Bitcoin, these dudes will be directly paid in Bitcoin. He was indirectly paid in Bitcoin. Pound that like button. Now, correction from yesterday. Well, from not yesterday, from Monday's show? Yes. I talked about Roger Ver. He is the guy behind Bitcoin.com, and that he was trying to sell the domain Bitcoin.com for $100 million. $100 million. It was actually GoDaddy put that up there without his permission. So I'll link to the correction below. I'm always going to say when I was wrong. GoDaddy is shady. That's. But I will say this: it did bring up the discussion of how much that asset is worth. Bitcoin.com. How much is it worth? How much do you guys think it's worth? There's some people that think it's worth $1 billion. I wonder what the most valuable. I don't know this offhand. I didn't research it beforehand. What's the highest price anyone's ever paid for a domain? And I bet Bitcoin.com could sell for more than that. All right. NFTs are selling for $69 million. Just putting it in perspective. Bitcoin.com is worth a lot more than an NFT. Yeah, I shaved beforehand. I didn't shave like my mustache or my goatee off. I whatever. At least I'm clean shaven there. It was after the cold shower. You want to get something off your face. It's hard to explain. Some guys understand. Okay, so we did the correction. I learned about that correction in Reddit, and my bad for saying that Roger Ver was really trying to do it. It looked like he was. I mean, there was a GoDaddy page dedicated to it, but GoDaddy is shady. Okay. Now, we talked about, Forbes. They have an article from the 5th. Revenge of the Winklevoss. Facebook, Winklevoss brothers, Bitcoin. Okay. Forbes is telling the normies what we already knew. So I'm going to read you. After losing an epic battle with Mark Zuckerberg over ownership of Facebook and being shunned in Silicon Valley, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss are back, this time as budding Bitcoin billionaires at the center of the future of money, the creative economy, and quite possibly a new operating model for big tech itself. Yeah, dudes, I made a video in April or May of 2015, that's 6 years ago now, saying the Winklevoss brothers wanted to be the trillionaires. They wanted to be the world's first trillionaires. So Forbes is just catching up. They're getting their revenge on Mark Zuckerberg now. No, dude. They've been doing their thing for quite some time. And if you understood what they've been trying to do since 2015, if you believed in what they believed in, you'd be a freaking millionaire now. They're billionaires, okay? You'd be a millionaire if you would have watched my show back in 2015 and taken it to heart and understood, like, wait a second, these Winklevoss brothers, they're betting big on Bitcoin here. I can bet a little on Bitcoin. I'm not trying to be the next trillionaire. I'm trying to just be a millionaire. Pound that like button. It worked out for some of us, didn't it now? Okay, but the normies now are getting their take. Forbes is catching on. Okay, good. Good job, Forbes. Good job, Forbes. And hey, I'm not going to complain. They're bringing the Winklevoss brothers story or the Winklevoss, not their crypto story to some normies that'll become interested in Bitcoin, hopefully. They need the freaking Winklevoss seal of approval. Too bad you need that. I mean, if you needed that, you should have found out about it in 2015. And this Steve Hanke, Steve Hanke is good on some financial things. He's out of Johns Hopkins. He's in Baltimore, like I am. Like I'm from. He's not from Baltimore originally. I don't believe he is. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, he's been embarrassing himself lately. He's against Bitcoin. He says that I'll link to this story from the National Review. I haven't watched his Bgold debate with Safadine and some other people. Maybe you guys have. But I mean, you just got to say "okay, boomer" to this guy. He says that companies are not putting Bitcoin in their reserves because of volatility. Dude, they are putting. I mean, have you heard of MicroStrategy? I don't know, man. But he says it's time for cryptocurrency boards. No, dude, why are you trying to centralize? He doesn't get this decentralized. The value, the uncensorable aspects of Bitcoin. All right, the unconfiscatable aspects, the uninflatable aspects. A cryptocurrency board. I mean, that's just a centralized cryptocurrencies. There's already exist. Tether. He's basically saying create Tether. Tether has a board. It's the people behind Tether. They decide. You know, he's so used to the fiat world. Sure, when a country has a board that sets policy, I mean, it's better than some of the fiat regimes that are out there. When it says, you know, our currency is going to be worth $1, and we will stick to it because we are the board. And all right, I mean, because he has success. There've been financial boards for companies for countries like in Eastern Europe and South America. He points to six. That's great. Those are countries. I mean, that's like the worst of the worst type of currencies. So they're a little better when they have a currency board. Great, but we're already experimenting with that in cryptocurrency. It's called Tether, and he doesn't seem to get. He seems to think that's better than Bitcoin. It's not. Now, but you can read his article, and he's entitled to his opinion. But it's definitely, you just want to say, like, okay, boomer. And it is a form of central planning, and there is no central planning in Bitcoin. That's why I love it. I am against central planning. Now, Peter Thiel. Oh, NFTs, a Bitcoiner's perspective. I'm going to link to that article below. It's a Bitcoiner who likes NFTs. He sent me his article. I'll link to it below. It's a different. It's on GitHub. You people watching on TikTok aren't going to. I mean, you'll have to go to watch my video later. All right. Now I'm going to talk about this Peter Thiel. This is actually big news. I should have said at the beginning of the show. We'll talk about it on This Week in Bitcoin, 1 p.m. Baltimore time on Friday. Tune in here. Zach Vole will be back if all goes well. Peter Thiel says Bitcoin could be a Chinese financial weapon. China using Bitcoin as a financial weapon against the United States, says Peter Thiel. If they're using it as a weapon against the it's worse as a weapon against the yuan. So let them compete, don't complain. I know some people are going to freak out by that. Oh, you see, Bitcoin's terrible because it's hurting the dollar, and the Chinese are using it to hurt the dollar. And perhaps they are. But whatever they're doing to hurt the dollar, it's hurting the yuan more. Because we don't have capital controls in the United States. They have capital controls in China. And so they're buying something that helps their people get around their capital controls, and their capital controls are the only thing that helps that forces their freaking people to use that worthless yuan. So let them try to hurt the dollar, and don't worry about it. If you're scared of China and they're really using Bitcoin as a tool to hurt the dollar, they're going to bring themselves down faster. Okay? They won't bring the United States down. They're going to help bring themselves down. Pound that like button. Free Hong Kong, baby. All right, now here is just an amazing time that we live in here. An article, a Bitcoin rally creates 9 new crypto billionaires in a year. We didn't have any crypto billionaires 6 years ago, all right? Sam Bankman-Fried and Michael Saylor are among the newcomers to the billionaires list. Barry Silbert is on that list. By the way, Michael Saylor wasn't even a Bitcoiner before this summer. And he wasn't a billionaire. Now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. Oh, my. Was he freaking smart? Was he the biggest freaking story of last year? And this year, the biggest freaking story is going to be the Coinbase IPO as of the 14th. Hopefully, there'll be a bigger story that overtakes that after the 14th. Moving on. Yeah, the altcoins have been pumping. We've seen days like this before. Freaking Bgold surged over $100, and people were talking about buying it. Dudes, you never buy what you get for free. We all got that Bgold crypto dividend back in 2017, and there are people who never claimed it on their Trezor. And sure enough, I went looking on the Reddit, the Trezor Reddit, and there's a guy saying, like, how can Trezor show me how much Bgold I own because I own Bitcoin before the fork? And in theory, they say, and I even commented on this, in theory, if you have the latest version of the Trezor firmware, it should show you the Bgold you have without ever having to use the Bgold claiming tool that doesn't work anymore. I don't know. The guy says it didn't work for him, though. I will link to that below because I know there's a few of you out there who have had Bitcoin on your Trezors, your Trezor ones, since before the Bgold fork. Now it's worth $100, and you want to dump it. Unfortunately, in terms of Bitcoin, it's worth a lot less than it was worth
for quite some time 1% of a Bitcoin. It's not nearly that much. It's not $600, is it? No. It's barely, it's a little bit below 100, which is better than $10, which is why is it pumping, you're asking? Why are all these freaks pumping? I don't know. The Koreans are buying. People are impulsive. They want the next Bitcoin. They can't stick with their Bitcoin earnings, and they dump it into all of this nonsense. Of course, on Monday's show, I did talk about Bgold had a press release that had all this mumbo jumbo complexity worship about Polkadot. So that probably helped pump it, as I said on Monday's show, but it might be more now. There might be some just wild hype from a different country. I don't care. Thank you, Ken Bozek, for the $4.20 that you sent during the interview show of me. Now, the last thing we will talk about, well, there's two things. Two more things, guys. The CEO of the biggest crypto exchange has close to 100% of his net worth in crypto. Binance founder and CEO Changpeng Zhao is placing his bets on crypto. Okay, that's not shocking to me. He has almost 100% of his wealth in crypto. Dude, if you believe in it, why do you want any of the other assets? Most of you know when I talk about my wealth portfolio, I'm talking about my crypto portfolio, which is Bitcoin. So dudes, I'm like those dudes. Most of my wealth is in Bitcoin. And wow, has it been better than owning a house. And wow, has it been better than, it's put me in a whole new level. All right, it's changed my life. So I mean, I'm not just talking the talk. When I say I value my wealth in Bitcoin, that is my asset. And there's so many people like, oh, you got to diversify for the sake of diversity. I got some cash, all right? I got cash. It's nothing compared to, I mean, it used to be something compared to my Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's gone up so much that it dwarfs anything else that I might have laying around. I don't know what else I got laying around. What bond I'll find for my grandmother that my mom never gave me or something, or that my dad never gave me that's in his safe deposit. Apparently in my dad's safe deposit box, unfortunately, my mom has a hard time just emotionally getting into it. There's a bond in there for me. I don't know who gave it to me, but I mean that's her personal story and everything. I would go. I don't have a key to it. I don't need the darn bond. But what I'm saying is, my wealth is in Bitcoin. Who knows what I'm going to find over the years that I got an old IRA or something like that laying around too. It's nothing. So for you people that are shocked that a billionaire CEO of a crypto company has most of his wealth in crypto, no, that's the way it should be. And for the people that love to diversify for the sake of diversification, me having most of my wealth in Bitcoin has been incredible, just incredible. So I was happy to see that story, that more people are getting it, because there are all these people that think it's a fringe asset still. Even the people that are in it still think they should be in stocks and bonds and houses and this, that, and the other. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to have a 40-40-20 portfolio with Bitcoin being 20. You can have a 80-10-10 or a 90-5-5 or a 95-1-1-1-1-1. Whatever. All right, and finally, my buddy who used to own the Auto Bar, I haven't heard from him for a while. All of a sudden, I see he's following me on Twitter. So that's a good sign for Bitcoin. And I sent him a DM. And I said, do you remember when I used to tell you about the Bitcoin at the Auto Bar? He says, yes, I do. So I think he might have some Bitcoin. But for the people that ask me if people from my past have contacted me about Bitcoin, he didn't directly contact me. He just started following me on Twitter, which if he found me on Twitter, he wasn't just randomly looking up Adam Meister. I mean, I seen he's tweeted out about Barstool Sports, so he's interested in investing. And I haven't straight up asked him the question. I see he lives in Miami now, though. I haven't straight up asked him the question, have you bought Bitcoin? But he does. He says he remembers me telling him about Bitcoin. And I know I told him in 2016, if not beforehand. All right, that's it, dudes. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to the channel, coinbeast.com/connect. Subscribe to CoinBeast on Twitter, on TikTok. Thanks a lot, everyone who watched this live. You didn't have any questions. That's unfortunate. See you later.